went there to get a job done. That's who Tennessee Republican Congressman Tim Burchett is, in my estimation. Problem for him is he's on this minority side who wanted Jim Jordan, who wants change. So good to have you, sir. Thank you for joining us. What do you do if it seems like the way it seems, which is it's not going to be Jim Jordan, and all this is doing is delaying the work of the people? Is it time to compromise? And if so, what does that look like?
Well, I don't think we're going to compromise with Hakeem Jeffries. And I would like to say something too. You said something earlier about these folks that try to appease whatever group. I always say they're selling memberships is all they're doing. You know, that's all they do. The left, the right, they try to appeal to the worst common denominator, and they're selling memberships. And another thing I'd like to say, and it'll probably get me in trouble, but that's all right. You and I are kind of known for that, I believe, is I thought it was gutsy as hell for this president to go to Israel. Regardless of, you know, I prayed for him. I prayed for his safety. Dadgummit, man. I thought, you know, suicide bombers, the whole deal. And I'm not going to say a lot of good about him in his policy, but I sure as hell don't want him hurt. And I'm glad that I'm glad that he went. It shows our strength and our support for Israel. But getting back to your original question, I apologize, Chris. I had that on my mind when I was listening to you earlier. Well, there he is right there. But I think we are going to go. I don't know how many more rounds we're going to go. I don't know if Jim Jordan's the guy or not. But I will tell you this. I looked at who was against Jim Jordan, and it fell into really three categories. You had a county commissioner used to say, have 3 points, and he'd hold up 5 fingers, and he'd give you 6 answers. But I'm just going to give you 3. There are 3. He's a dear friend of mine. But and I hope he's not watching because he won't be a dear friend after I said that. But no, there was you had a group of folks that I would commonly call the war hawks. You know, they're alpha military. You know, they always vote for more funding for the Pentagon, and you know, I can't go that route. I love our military. My dad fought in the Pacific. You know my story. The other group is a group of younger folks that are frankly, up in your area. A group of them from up there in New York. They're in districts that Biden won or was very close, and they're Republicans in Congress, so they have to be very careful. And I get that. But the third group is the one you really need to watch, and that is the appropriators, the ones that are on the Appropriations Committee. There are really 3 parties in Washington. There's the Republicans, there's the Democrats, and there's the appropriators. They have incredible power, and the longer they stay in the committees, the more that you do not do continuing resolution. The more continued resolutions, the more omnibus bills that we pass, the more power they get, because a continuation budget is just that. You know, here I am, a conservative Republican. People are saying you need to vote for the budget or the continuation resolution, and it just continues the policies of our opponents, plus some more grease. You know, we grease the lobbyists on K Street, and those are the people that are against Jim Jordan. So those are the people that actually, I mean, the K Street lobbyists. They're the ones that run this town. I would like to say that the 435 Congress folks run this town, but they don't. Let's be honest. It's the money changers. And frankly, the money changers need to be thrown out, whether Jim Jordan does that or somebody else. But that's why I'm glad we're actually going through this process, a completely legal process. As you know, it was done in the open and wasn't any real surprises when it all went down. But that's why we're where we're at. And we have a very deep bench. And I want to say one other thing. I know folks are saying, man, we haven't had a speaker for 15 days. And I was glad you talked about the process. You didn't panic like some people are. And again, they're selling memberships. But the truth is, as you know, we were out 6 dadgum weeks. A whole month of August, which is the Tim Burchett birthday month, as you well know, and I still haven't received your gift yet. And 2 weeks into September. 6 dadgum weeks, Chris. I mean, what the heck? If your dad or my dad had somebody come to them and say, hey, I'm going to take 6 weeks off this year. And I said, well, just go on and take the rest of the year off because your buddy ain't coming back to work for me. And, that's just the way it is. Congress does that.
I hear you. It's not the end of the world, but it is a tough time to be fighting amongst ourselves instead of fighting for the interests of the American people. So I hope you find somebody who fits the bill for you, even if it's not Jim Jordan. Let me jump. You are welcome back to take us through every step of the process. And I will just remind you, sir, August is also my birthday month, and also my coffers are empty when it comes to Burchett offerings. So I will be the first to strike, but I will see how you return in kind.
I think I just drove through a tunnel. I can't hear you.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Take care, Congressman. Be well, and I'll speak to you soon.
Dog at Ball Market. See you, brother.
Done.